right. This is a little pep talk about networking. And I want to tell you a story. Most people that I meet think of me as an extrovert. The work that I do requires me to interact with other people, and I'm probably pretty good at it in front of a group. But deep down and based on my personality test results, I know that I'm actually an introvert, which means that I get energy from being alone. And being with other people, as much as I enjoy it for my work and with my family, it actually sometimes drains energy from me. And this is a challenge for me in my work and in some jobs that I've had, because one of the critical dimensions of work is networking. And I hate networking. I hate cocktail parties. I don't like standing around with people that I don't know and trying to make small talk. It's actually not something that feeds me or gives me energy. Now, you might be more extroverted than I am, or maybe you just like to be the life of the party and you really enjoy those social engagements, and good for you. Like, I'm super happy for people that like that. But if you don't like networking, or it just makes you feel a little bit drained, I want to give you some ideas for how you can network, particularly if you're out of work and people are telling you, make sure to network. I want to give you some ideas about how you could do that without feeling a little bit sick inside. So one way that I recommend that you do it is to turn first to your innermost circle. These are usually people that you trust, who you have a relationship with, who probably have ideas for you about ways you could explore your job or business opportunities. I suggest a small group, maybe talking one person at a time. The key with those conversations is you need to show up in your own story, which means you need to be honest with them about what's happening for you. So for me as a business owner, that might mean sometimes saying to someone, hey, I could really use a referral into this client system that I'm interested in working with. Or maybe I could say, would you be willing to write me a testimonial for my LinkedIn profile? That would help so much right now. These are challenging times. You need to be able to ask for what you need and to be able to show up with people with an open heart. And that kind of networking tends to make people feel drawn to you. They're proud of your courage and they generally want to help. A second tip I want to offer for networking for people who don't love networking is to be really thoughtful and strategic about the kinds of group experiences that you invest in. If you're going to sign up for training or join a group, make sure that it's something that provides an opportunity for you to actually engage with other people. Maybe it's a trade association meeting, or maybe it's a lecture on a topic that you have a lot of interest in. If you're looking for a job or you're looking to build business, if you've carefully made sure that this is a strategic investment of networking, it's not going to be as hard for you to stand and talk with other people because you have some common interests. And then the third tip I offer for you for networking is one of my favorites, and that is that you become a really good question asker, right? And in my mind, good questions have two main criteria. And one is that they're highly personal, and the other is that they are deeply ambiguous. And this is what makes networking more interesting, I think, than just social chit-chat, because that's one of the things that kind of bothers me about networking is it often feels just this deep. So I go into networking events or to meeting new people with some specific questions that I want to talk about. For example, instead of asking somebody why they like the company they're working for, if I'm looking for a job, I might ask them something specific like, tell me a little bit more about what it is that brings you joy about working at that company. Or maybe I would ask somebody, tell me a bit about how you think work-life balance is going for you working in that organization. So I'm going to ask something specific that requires someone to really put themselves in the story and create a stronger connection between us. Once I ask those questions of others, the invitation is usually open for me to then share a little bit about myself. In order for people to help you, they need to know you. They need to know a little bit about your story, and they need you sometimes to very specifically let them know what would be helpful. Don't worry if you don't love parties and you don't like big networking or small networking experiences. It can be hard to put yourself out there. But it is a really important part about how we find the job that we love, as well as how we build the connections we need for our businesses to thrive. So remember, again, you are not your job. You are not just your work identity. But networking is one of the ways you get to show up with people with an open heart, be curious about them, and they'll be more curious about you. And it can feel engaging and actually really energizing. At least that's what I've learned over the years, and I hope it helps. Good luck on your networking. Keep me posted.